Okay, so now we want to go ahead and make changes in the header. The template has a logo, it offers a logo and a green header. We want to remove the logo because we don't have a logo in our case, so just click on the logo, that square, and then hit delete. And then click on the edge of the header. I'm assuming this is the header. Let me just click on the edge, on its lower edge. If you remember, for the container, we clicked on the left side right here, and it said that this is the container. For the header, I'm going to click, at the bottom of the header right here, right this edge, and you feel you clicked properly if it becomes highlighted with a yellow border, as you can see on the screen. And then you look at the properties panel and it says class header. Okay, so if you want to get rid of this green, what do? You find dot header in style.css, actually in the styles panel. So I'm looking for dot header right here. I found it. And all I want to do is get rid of the green. I don't want to remove the header. I want to keep the header. I just don't want a color in the header, right? So just click on the green and the color palette opens and you just go to this no color option. Okay, click on that so that you remove that green color. Now make sure your cursor is inside and it must be blinking in the top left corner, and go to media, insert media, and then SWF. There are SWF files within what you downloaded from D2L. So we're going to insert this first SWF file here. Okay, so obviously go to the right location where your files are, and this is the folder. There's a SWF folder, and I'm going to choose the first SWF file, which is giselle.swif. Okay, hit open, and then for the title you can just say Giselle and hit OK. Okay, so this is the SWF file, and as you can see, this SWF file happens to be wider than the container. Okay, if you remember earlier when we checked the dot container properties, the width was 960 pixels. If the SWF file is wider, then it must be something like 40 additional pixels, so probably 1,000 pixels. So we'll see what to do about that. But for the moment, let's just save, file, save. And when you save, in this case, it's going to ask you the following. So it's basically telling you that it's going to create a JS file and the SWF file for you, because for the SWF video to work, these files are necessary, and they're both going to go inside of a scripts folder, which equally Dreamweaver will create for you. So you just say OK, thank you if you're doing that for me, and then you go to File, Preview in Browser, Firefox, and this is it. So this is a SWF movie that I built in Flash, and when you hover over it for a while, it says Giselle, which is what we typed for the title, and everything looks nice except for a couple of things. We must adjust the width of our container so that it aligns with the SWF video. That's one thing. The second thing is that when I designed this SWF video in Flash, I didn't create a white background. Where did that come from, or how can I get rid of it? So let's go back to Dreamweaver and make those changes. The first thing I want to do is click on the edge of my container, right? So find your dot container and then change your width to 1,000 pixels instead of 960, and that resolves that alignment issue. The next thing is that white, so click on your SWF, and then in your properties panel where it says opaque for the W mode, click on that drop down and choose transparent. Okay, and then save again and go to File, Preview in Browser, and this is it. So it's actually quite nice because we got rid of that white background. Let me refresh it again. Okay, so there's this animation that's happening. It's two floral effects that are animating within a mask, and it's actually a nice effect in Flash. And we align the container with the Swift movie, so everything looks nice. Okay, let's make a few more changes here for this dot content, this area. Let's find the content right here. Okay, the content is wherever the paragraphs are. Let's make some changes to this area, and I'm going to just go ahead and change the padding, okay, to 70 pixels for top and bottom, and then 20 pixels for left and right. And then when I hit the tab key, you're going to see the changes, right? So I have 70 pixels from top and bottom, and I have 20 pixels from left and right. Okay, so I wrote this in shorthand, obviously, which is less time consuming. I also want to change the color of the text right here because I feel that this light gray CCC on the dark brown is a bit too strong. So I want to go ahead and change that. I will just type color here. Or, you know, if you don't want to type yourself, there's a drop down, you click on it, and then you select the property from there. So the color is going to be a darker gray, 999. Okay. No, this is 666. I want to choose 999. Okay. Having done that, I want to move to styling the footer now. Okay, the footer right here, this odd yellow color, which doesn't work with anything else we have on our page. So let's find the footer. So you see dot footer, so the class footer. Select that and then change this yellowish color to black. Okay, so that's the first thing. Font size is currently 14 pixels. Let's make a few changes. But before the font size, let's work with the padding. Now, you see the word footer starts, you know, a little far from the left edge. But it's much nicer if we align the word footer or whatever we're going to write in the footer with the text that we have on top. Now, if you remember, just a while ago, we gave this text a left and right padding of 20 pixels. So we can do the exact same thing here. Okay, so let's go ahead and change this padding to 10 pixels. We can leave that from top and bottom, but 20 pixels for left and right. And so the word footer becomes aligned with the rest of the paragraphs at the top. For the color, okay, let's click on the drop down just so I show you that, you know, if you don't remember these styling properties, they're all written for you here and you just click and select. So color will color text for you. And let's say you want a very dark gray, 333. And then for the font size, let's select font size from here. F is right here. Font size. If our text is 14 pixels, let's make the footer not that big. Let's say 12 pixels because the footer is much less important than anything else on the page. So that's it. That's all we need. Now we can just replace this word footer with you know, something in Italian since this brand is an Italian brand. So dati societari e informazioni, informazioni legali. Space P.I.013 976203050 space 2015 Max Mara Penny Black, which is a brand under Max Mara. That's it. So this is the footer, very nice. And we can save this and then look at it one more time. File, preview in browser. Okay, so this is our footer, very nice footer, very discreet. We have this nice, these nice URLs that hover to the, not the fuchsia color, the turquoise color. We have this Swift that animates, and everything looks nice on the page. What we want to do next is work on a navigation, and we will place the navigation right under the Swift. That's why we created so much space here between the Swift file and the beginning of the first paragraph.